What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. Today, we're going to talk some news going on in the NFL right now. We got the Indianapolis Colts firing their head coach. Now, are they throwing? It kind of seems like it. I mean, from who they hired, it's a big head scratcher, but we're going to dive into it, you guys. But before we do so, we just want to say congratulations once again to one of our subscribers, Joe Villa. He's out there. He won himself an autographed mini helmet. Now, we are so close to hitting 300 subscribers. Once we hit 300 subscribers, we're doing another giveaway of an autographed either jersey, football, or mini helmet. Details will be released as we get closer to the 300. I do believe we are, 24 away?
Yes, that is correct. We are 24 subscribers away. So, yeah, you have the chance to be one of those 300 people that will win this giveaway. So, make sure you guys subscribe.
Yeah, and only about maybe 20% of our 300 subscribers actually enter in our giveaway. So you have such a great chance of winning. Also, we have more big news. As you see below me, this is called W. W is an energy drink. Really cool. So this is our first sponsorship is W Energy. This is really good. I actually just had it today. I had it today right before my workout. And you know what? No jitterness, no crash. I felt focused. I felt ready to go. Whether you're working out, doing a podcast like we're doing, going to school, or going to work, this is the perfect energizer for you each and every day. So if you go to wenergy.com, I use promo code NSPFT, you get 10% off of your purchase. And they have a whole bunch of cool stuff. They got shakers, they got caps, shirts, energy drinks, and not just energy drinks. They also have hydration formulas over here. This is called Monkey Madness. This is awesome. The strawberry banana, I absolutely love the flavor. But go out there, W Energy, check us out, and use promo code NSPFT. Now let's get into the Indianapolis Colts. Reed, what happened today?
So, head coach Frank Reich. Yes, Frank Reich. How do you say his last name? Is
Reich.
it Reich?
It's
Reich.
Reich.
That is a weird spelling of it. Whatever. But he was fired today by the Indianapolis Colts. Jim Irsay came out and confirmed it. The owner of the Indianapolis Colts and said they are parting ways with him. Big shocker to me. I knew he was probably on the hot seat after this year, but from what I've heard, he's always been a person that has not wanted Jim Irsay doesn't like a lot of turnover as far as the head coaching position, and for him to fire him mid-season, you just have to believe he had just zero faith in him anymore. So I was very surprised by this, and even more surprised when we get into who they ended up hiring for his interim head coach.
Yeah, and it was quite surprising. Reich, quotes are glue. I don't really get that reference, but I'm guessing that's not it's something negative. Do you get that?
I'm not positive.
But going forward, Frank Wright, earlier it was said by the owner that his job was safe. That was 2 weeks ago. His job was safe. And now, after firing their offensive coordinator, their head coach is fired. They did replace him with someone called, his last name is Saturday. I don't know if you all remember the name, but he is in the Colts Hall of Fame. He last played in 2011. He works for ESPN now, and he's also a head coach. So he has head coaching experience. He was a head coach for a Georgia high school team. Wow. So now, the NFL, the Colts are changing the NFL as we speak right now. They are hiring an interim head coach of Jeff Saturday, I believe his name is, right?
Yes, that's Jeff Saturday. Yes.
Jeff Saturday has no head coaching experience, has no coaching experience in the NFL. He's only played center, Hall of Fame center with Peyton Manning back in the day, and now he's the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. That is crazy. So it's changing the game. How do you feel? It's kind of head scratching, right? Because this never happened before. How do you feel about this move, Reed?
So as far as the firing, Big Money Joe says historically glue is made of horse parts. Google it, he says. Hey, we'll look into that. I've never heard that reference though before. Interesting. But as far as the firing, we kind of saw it coming. He's had I think he's had 4 completions as far as his He's had 4 NFL seasons. This was his 5th one. He's out of those 4. There's been 3 winning seasons. He's never won the division before, and he's gone 40-33 overall. So not horrible stats, to be completely honest. It's not bad. But also there wasn't a whole lot. Yes, he was a analyst for it was ESPN, right?
ESPN, yeah.
Yes. So I'm imagining he's going to be leaving that job for a little bit to go ahead be the head coach for the Colts. I think it's going to take a lot of his time. But Frank Rick,
Right.
don't know it. Rick, whatever. Frank.
My gosh.
Sorry, man. It's a weird name. It's a weird name. But yeah, I was very surprised by the firing. And then as far as Jeff Saturday being hired, that was a huge head scratcher. When I was watching the Pat McAfee show when it was first announced, Ian Rappaport announced it live on the show, and I was like, "This is a joke. There's no way." And then I looked on Twitter, and it's been announced, and I'm like, "What? How? Why of all people?" Like, I don't. I think this is the first time they've like ever somebody has gone outside the organization for the interim head coach, and then for them to go outside and get somebody who without any NFL or collegiate coaching experience. It's just a huge head scratcher in my opinion. I don't really agree with it. Maybe you just bring in someone who the fans won't hate because Jeff Saturday is absolutely beloved by the Colts fandom. So I don't think they'll hate him, and if he does a bad job, I don't think they'll blame him. So maybe that's why they brought him in. But it was a huge head scratcher in my opinion. I think there's a lot of more. If they wanted to go outside the organization, there's a lot more qualified coaches out there that would be a better option in my opinion. But this is who Jim Irsay felt like was the best option, I guess.
You know what? They did this in the offseason. They're doing it all season long this season. They're jumping the gun too much. You know, they are jumping the gun. They had plenty of people who they could hire as an interim coach within the organization of the Indianapolis Colts. They have a lot of people who are qualified. But hey, let's do something that is risk-free, right? No risk at all. They're already throwing the season. They are throwing. They released Naeem Hines when they knew JT was injured. They fired the head coach, fired offensive coordinator. They're done. And it looks like the GM's going to be out too. So why not do something that we've never done before? Let's bring a longtime Colt, Pro Bowl Colt, who is a smart dude, right? He was the offensive center. And if you're the center of any team, you have to be a smart dude. And you got to know how to read plays and be offensive minded and defensive minded because you're facing that defense head on every single game. So if you're asking me personally, yeah, it's a head scratcher. But I kind of like it. I kind of like that the Colts are changing the game. You think outside the box, you bring someone else in that doesn't have a head coaching experience, and you just test the waters. He's not going to be the head coach next year. He's not. They already look. There's so many head coaching candidates out there that teams want. The offensive coordinator for the Eagles. Everybody wants it because the Eagles are undefeated. I think a good candidate, honestly, a good candidate for the Indianapolis coach would be Eric Bieniemy. He is the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's since 2018. Now that's success. Okay, it's not like the Eagles where it's just 1 year, half a season, you're undefeated. No, Eric Bieniemy has done it for so long now. Like I said, ever since 2018, he's developed Patrick Mahomes. He's developed the offensive play style. I think it will be a great setup for the Indianapolis Colts, especially since they still got young players out there. And now that the season's not going their way, they officially benched Matt Ryan. They went out of their way. Like I said, they took risks in the preseason. They went out of their way and got Matt Ryan. That was not it. Yes, I was one that was excited. I thought Matt Ryan still had a little bit of juice in him, but it was horrible. It really is, and it still is horrible. The Colts themselves, they're doing really bad. I mean, they're last against pass rush because they have 35 sacks of the year, and that is the most of the NFL. They are ranked, I think, 28th. They're ranked 30th in rushing with 87.8 yards per game. It's pretty bad. They're not scoring more than 50 points a game. They need someone who's offensive minded, who can relate to the players, and maybe give them a spark. Nothing's gonna happen this season. They're not gonna hire him for the long run. I kind of like this move. There's no risk at it whatsoever. I don't know why people are making such a big deal out of it. I mean, what did you expect to make a blockbuster move and getting a Sean Payton there as a head coach? It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, of course. I didn't think there'd be a blockbuster move, but it just didn't seem like a logical move either. And I think that's where everybody was just head scratching about. I definitely think he'll bring a certain energy to the team, just because Colts legend, etc. I do think he bring something like that. But as far as he doesn't bring a lot of experience. If I was a player, like this is a head scratcher move for me, in my opinion. I don't have a lot of. I don't know this guy. I don't. He doesn't know me. I don't. Why would I fight hard for this guy? Jeff Saturday has to come in immediately and make sure that he buy the locker room buys in. That's like number one thing when he comes in. The locker room needs to buy in because right now, like I mean, our offensive coordinator got fired last week. Now our head coach. There is no leadership in there at all. We just changed
Mm-mm.
quarterbacks. Everything's in disarray. So he needs to come in week one tomorrow, and put some. He just needs to get a buy-in. If they don't, then they're going to lose every single game this season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was looking at their schedule, which I want to end off on that note, was
Mm-hmm.
going through the schedule, and I see maybe one, maybe two wins left for this Colts team. It just does not look good whatsoever. And Big Money Joe says Ryan was a statue after every snap. Yeah, you could tell like it was a different system, and Matt Ryan's a lot older. He it's just his time is done, right? His time is done. And I didn't want to get into this because we talked about this. Well, what was it, like 3-4 weeks ago at the
Yeah,
Indianapolis Colts?
I think it's 2 weeks ago.
Dude, Matt Ryan is the highest paid player on that team. They screwed themselves. He's the highest paid player on the team. I don't know what they're expecting from him. I mean, everyone was expecting a playoff run, right? Because they were so close last year, losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and people were like, "Oh man, it's just another freak loss." But we didn't really look into it. That wasn't a freak loss. Maybe Indianapolis Colts last year is like how you see the Minnesota Vikings this year. They're winning, but they're not that good, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not that good. Now the Colts are being exposed. A Big Money says best thing Saturday can do is put on a jersey and play center. With that weak offensive line, that probably is the best thing he can do.
Yeah.
It probably is. But Indianapolis Colts, what are you doing? You got a lot of veteran players on that team. You got a lot of big contracts. You just signed Stephon Gilmore. What has he done? You know, you what do you do with Matt Ryan? I want to stay on this. I want to drill this down. What do you do with Matt Ryan? Like we talked about last time, if the Colts release him after the season, it's going to cost 18 million against the salary cap in 2023. But if they trade him, it's only going to cost them 6 million in dead cap for 2023. But they're not going to be able to trade him. He's
Nope.
done. There's no way in hell that he could get traded, especially now that he's benched. At least let him play. Look, you're already calling it quits, right? Because you have Sam Ellinger in. Young dude, I get it. But if you had any chance of reviving the season, you would have put Nick Foles in. That's just me. You would put Nick Foles in. I don't think Sam Ellinger is a good spark. Young player, good development. Switch him off. I don't know if you have something to say.
I mean, I think they've already thrown in the towel for the season. If you might as well try to develop Sam Ellinger, Nick Foles. I mean, yeah, he's better. He's going to be better than Sam Ellinger, but I mean, is it better enough to be able to win games and turn the season around? I do not think so.
I'm saying when they made that QB switch,
Yeah.
because if the season's over and they're going to have a top pick in the first round, you
Mm-hmm.
don't think they're going to go for a QB? This is a really good. They should really be focusing on the offensive line and an elite wide receiver, like they should have done this offseason instead of getting Matt Ryan, gotten an elite wide receiver. That's what they were missing. But this draft is a high QB class. high QB. I mean, you have Bryce Young, which I don't know if they'll be in the reach for Bryce Young because he's the first QB that's going to be out of there. They got Bryce Young. They got CJ Stroud from Ohio State, Will Lewis from Kentucky. And right now, a lot of people have their eyes on Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. I don't know. What do you do with Matt Ryan? You can't trade him. Do you eat up all that dead cap and just release him?
Probably. I think that's the only option at this point.
Only record Ryan was biggest Super Bowl comeback loss. It's bad, man. It was bad at Colts. What are you doing? So yeah, they got to make a move. If they could just trade Matt, maybe they could rework their contract like Baker Mayfield did. They need to get him out of there. Suitable trade teams, right? Suitable trade teams. Who can they be? I know one was listed as the San Francisco 49ers because they don't see Jimmy G staying there next year. Drop down that contract. I think Matt Ryan could be a solid QB2, right? Another one was the Carolina Panthers, which I don't think that could happen. Another one was Cincinnati Bengals. You have him as a backup, but come on, man. Big Money says, Hooker, I need that jersey. Yeah, that'll be funny, right? Tennessee, a tough loss this past weekend. Tough loss.
Yep.
But yeah, going forward, their salary cap situation, we talked about this 4 weeks ago. It's not looking ideal for them.
Yeah. What do you think the chances of Matt Ryan retiring are? He is 37 years old.
Be 37. A team took a chance on you. You embarrassed yourself. The team embarrassed you by benching you. If he had any sense of dignity, he would retire.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he could come back and try to prove it that he is a good quarterback. It's gone.
Maybe with a good offensive line, he could be decent.
But what
you have
team
to give him that?
What team with a good offensive line will pick him up?
Of course.
You get me?
But put a little bit of respect on his name. A little bit.
He deserves it.
Yes.
Right, he deserves it, but we're talking about this season and how he's performed.
Of course.
He's a good quarterback, and I'm always going to remember him as a good quarterback because this is the era that I grew up in. But right now, it's just like Tom Brady. I'm fully committed. I fully believe that he's retiring after this season. There's no way you're coming back after that. He looks pretty bad. And this guy got benched after getting paid all that money. It doesn't happen. Hardly ever happens.
Yeah. But
you got anything else to
add? Not really. I really hope that the Colts find something here. Whether it's wins or losses, they just need to find a sense of identity and need to come together. And I hope the best for Jeff Saturday. I would only imagine he would take this job unless he wanted to continue coaching in the NFL. So hopefully he does well. Hopefully people see something in him, and this doesn't end up just being a dumpster fire for him and then ruin his career. But Big Money Joe says Tennessee was juiced on the sidelines. Yeah, they were. But yeah, I hope the best for Jeff Saturday. I really hope he can find something out of this season and the Colts figure out something going into next year.
Yeah. I guess we could look into the rest of their schedule, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Actually, let me go ahead and put this up in our screen so you guys can see it as well.
All right.
We'll take no but 2 seconds here.
Yeah. They're playing the Raiders this week, and Jeff Saturday 2 weeks ago tweeted out, "Man, the Raiders look horrible. I really hope they beat the Raiders because if you lose against the Raiders after tweeting that's a little embarrassing."
So, yeah, they do have Raiders next.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any faith that they're beating them. I think the Raiders, as bad as they're doing, I think the Raiders have a better team.
I think they have the best chance in this game, though. I think they have a good chance to win.
The Colts?
Yes.
I sure hope so,
against the other teams they're facing.
Yeah, for sure. Going against Eagles, that's going to be another what other people call easy win for an Eagles easy schedule. Then going to Steelers, I have them maybe beating the Steelers out, but I feel like
it's a terrible Sunday night game.
That is Sunday night.
Yeah. Or is that Monday night? It might be Monday. That is a
Yeah,
Monday night game.
yeah, it's Monday night.
Jesus.
How is that Monday night? Jeez.
You gotta flitz these games. This is
Yeah,
bad.
it is very bad. I don't know who's making all these primetime schedules, but it is pretty darn bad. Uh, let's see. He says all he has is 60,000 yards, eighth QB to do, but also had some monster wide receivers. Yeah, he did. He had prime time Julio Jones, man. You can never disregard that. What's going on, Nestor? Appreciate you being here. We're just talking about the downfall of the Indianapolis Colts. I'm surprised they didn't call Pat McAfee to go out there and coach. That would have definitely brought a spark. Huge, big time.
That would have been funny.
So moving forward, the Colts are going against Jerry's World Cowboys.
Yep. That's a
That's a,
definite loss.
that's definitely a loss right there. And then they're going up against the Vikings. That's another loss.
Yep.
I know you don't believe in the Vikings too much, but even with the Vikings not doing as great, they're better than the Colts.
Yeah. And then after that, the Chargers, and then
Which
the
they've been
Giants.
struggling.
Yep, they've been
Chargers.
struggling. And then the Giants, who look good, and then the Texans, which are even worse than probably the Colts at this point. So they have a tough schedule. It's not looking optimistic, in my opinion.
Yep, Roddy
Yep.
White and Gonzalez. That team was stacked, man. Then you had a primetime Coleman, primetime.
hmm
Who's the other guy? It was Tim Coleman and I forgot his
Freeman.
name. Freeman. Yeah,
Yeah.
Freeman. Oh man, what happened in that, man?
Yep.
But good for them. Giants hopefully bounce back. By then, I think they're going to be must-win games for the Giants, and then they might have a chance at the last game with Texans. But the Colts never finish strong. They
Yep.
never do.
Nope.
But yeah, it's the Indianapolis Colts. The only faith I have in the Colts is fantasy purposes. I'm the only one out of my crew that still believes in JT. As long as he stays healthy, I'm not saying that he's going to go off every single game. I'm saying that he's going to be getting the production. He's going to be getting the carries, all the catches. He's going to be the sole back there. That's the only upside I see for the Indianapolis Colts. Other than that, I think it's all downhill. I think it is time to throw.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
It is bad. It is bad.
They definitely did. Yeah, they butchered him. They killed him as soon as Coleman and Freeman were out of that team. Their careers went downhill as well. I know Coleman's in the practice squad with the 49ers. And I don't think Freeman's in the league anymore. But it's sad, man. It's sad. And you look at the Patriots. The Patriots are dismantled as well. All of them, all those guys are gone. But it's crazy. It's crazy how things turn out. But I mean, we'll see what happens to the Colts. What rank do you feel them finishing in, Reed?
As far as their division,
As far as the NFL,
NFL.
yeah.
I mean, who's worse than them at this point? I think. Hey, I think the Packers are just as bad, probably.
You think so?
I mean, we're a pretty bad team. The Lions had the worst defense in the NFL, historically one of the worst defenses ever, and we put up 6 points. We stink, or 9 points. I mean, we stink. The Lions may be worse than them. That's about it. Texans, they could end up with the third or fourth pick by the end of this year, in my opinion.
The third, yeah, because I'm looking at it. They have their own first and their own second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh wow, the pick will not transfer for their third because Carson Wentz hasn't played 70% of snaps yet. That's crazy. I got a question here.
Doesn't look like he will either.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Heineke stole that spot. Big Money Joe says, AJ, any regrets? Niners not picking up Fields now. So I know you haven't been with us that long, but the year of the draft, when we first started the show, the draft was coming out, and they asked me, hey, AJ, who do you think the Niners are going to draft once they picked up the third overall pick from the Miami Dolphins? I said, honestly, I would love for the 49ers. I called it. You could go back to our shows. I would love for the 49ers to go ahead and draft Trey Lance, a young guy from North Dakota State. doesn't like to turn over the ball. I know he hasn't played much, whatever. I fell in love with the dude, right? I see whatever Kyle Shanahan sees, I guess. But I was kind of convinced that Kyle Shanahan was going to go with Justin Fields. I did not believe in Mac Jones whatsoever. We already have a Mac Jones, which is um what's his name? Jimmy G, Jimmy Garoppolo. But I still have faith because I think if Trey Lance were to have the experience that Justin Fields has, you can see very similar play styles. But I do feel like Trey Lance could be better than Justin Fields. I'm still a believer. We haven't seen it. He's dealing with injuries, but I wanted the Niners to get Trey Lance, and I'm still happy with it. I'm still very happy. We haven't had a chance, so we can't say that he's a bust or not. Says we didn't draft him because of seizure concerns. I haven't seen any seizures yet. Um, yeah, now I think that's just a whole bunch of baloney. I mean, you saw Kyle Shanahan. He was very excited after the talk with Justin Fields, and he said it on the plane. He gave out the story and how he drafted Trey Lance. John Lynch came out and said that Kyle Shanahan kept on bugging him during the plane and said, "I can't get over this guy. I like this guy. I want this guy." And they just let Kyle Shanahan do what he wanted. He got his guy. First time ever that Kyle Shanahan was able to get a QB that he wanted. Well, actually, second time. First time was RG3. But we just gotta give it time. It sucks that he's not healthy, but we're gonna start new again next year. See what happens. Yeah, North Dakota State. You never know. Carson Wentz was from North Dakota State, and he had a MVP season until he got injured. Well, we'll see what happens. But like I said, a lot of upside when it comes to this young guy, Trey Lance. You got to remember he's only 22 years old. I believe Justin Fields, he's what, 24? So
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of time with Trey Lance. We do. So let him develop, let him learn the scheme. And now that we have a freaking stacked team, we can have Nick Mullins taking snaps, and we're going to look great. I think so. Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, CMC. Are you kidding me? Trent Williams. But yeah, we're going to dive into that on Friday when we talk about Niners. Hopefully, I could go live. I don't know if I'll be able to, but it's always fun talking with you guys, live Niners. I appreciate you coming on the show. But me personally, Reed, I don't know. I think the Colts could end up with a 6th round pick. I mean, not the sixth overall pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they will squeeze out, like I said, those few wins. And you already have other teams like the Texans that are just not doing so hot. I think other teams are going to continue to fall, like the Panthers. I think they're going to continue to fall down, but it's all downhill from here, man.
Yep.
You got any last words before we sign out?
No, no. I'm just, as I said earlier, hope the best for Jeff Saturday. Hope he can. I'm excited what he can do. I know he had a press conference today around this time, so I'm excited to see what comes out of that. That's what he says. Yeah, I really hope that I'm excited about what happens next for the Colts franchise.
Yeah, I hope he changes the game. For all you guys playing fantasy football tonight, Jarvis Landry will not be playing tonight, so keep that in mind. Alvin Kamara will be playing tonight, so that's going to be a huge hit. Reed, Packers want Lance. Rogers looks bad.
No. At this point, we got Jordan Love as our backup. And if we're not confident with him, well, we're going to have a pretty low draft pick or a pretty high draft pick. So we can maybe potentially go after a quarterback. And then hopefully we can either trade Rodgers, because if he retires, then we're screwed. We're screwed salary cap wise. So screwed.
Oof, you think he might retire?
I don't know what he might do at this point, but we're in salary cap hell because of him. Hell. It's bad. Every year he gets worse also.
Oof. Yeah, that's pretty bad, Reed. I feel bad for you guys, but we did talk about this in the preseason, so nothing else needs to be brought up. Absolutely love your profile picture there, Big Money Joe. I like those helmets. He also says Likely and Drake need 13 points for tonight. If you need 13 points from Drake and Likely tonight to win your fantasy league, then I will say congratulations, you won. I think it's going to happen. Yeah. So
I agree.
So awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us live. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Remember, once we hit 300 subscribers, we will be doing another giveaway, even though we just did one. Big Money Joe, congratulations. He's here in the chat right now. He won our last giveaway, which I did ship off today. So I went to the post office today, shipped it off, did the express shipping. Okay, so I paid extra for that crap, and so it should be getting there Thursday. Hopefully you can enjoy it. Do what you want. It is a Colts helmet, yeah, Colts themed video. So I think you should sell it while you can if you are trying to sell it before the value goes down. But thank you all so much. Remember, we are sponsored with W Energy. So go to wenergy.com, use promo code NSPFT for 10% off of your purchase. Okay, it's energy drinks, it's super awesome, it feels great. You're working out, work, school, podcasting, gaming, whatever you're doing, it's awesome. See y'all later, fellas. I won. Yes, sir. We'll see you. Thank you so much. Oh, we got Meki to go. I haven't seen him in a while. I think y'all talked to him last time. Hill or likely tonight, PPR. I hate rolling with Hill. He's just so inconsistent. Hill could score you 30 to 40 points, or he could score you, 0 to 5 points. So if you want to take that risk, go for it. I'm going with likely,
Yeah, I would go likely also.
especially in a PPR.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Lamar doesn't have anybody else to throw to tonight.
Not so much. Appreciate you joining us here, Meki. Thank you. We're always happy with fantasy comments. We're always happy to answer. Yeah, Colts are fine. Don't sell it. It's cool. But cool. If we don't have any more questions, then should we sign out?
That sounds good.
All right, you guys. See you until next time. Keep on grinding.